Alright, so this video is gonna be really freaking painful to make. This is me from the future after I got all the footage I needed to make this video. And right now, I kind of have to record my own voice because the audio quality in the video, the video footage was actual garbage. And the only other solution I have to fix this problem would be to pay for premium features, which I'm not gonna do because 1, it's not worth it. 2, CapCut's getting taken down soon, like in January 19th, I think. I don't know much about that. So what I'm gonna be doing is splitting this video into 3 different categories. The first category being where I talk about custom plushies I've already talked about before, both miscellaneous and Plants vs. Zombies. I'm also gonna be saying whether or not I'm scrapping or remaking them. I forgot to mention this. The second category is where I talk about custom plushies I don't have with me at the moment, mostly because I gave them away. And the second category is going to feature both customs I already shown off and customs that I haven't shown off before. And the third and final category is where I talk about custom plushies I have not shown off before, which is going to be really, really exciting. And to start off the first category, we have a pea shooter, or as I like to call him, Spot. This one is going to get scrapped mostly because I already made a better version of Spot. And I'm gonna talk about Spot a little more when I get to the remade version of Spot. Next is Magnetron, which I don't know what to do with. We got Glitchies or just a Snow Pea, who I'm gonna be keeping. There's a Vampire Flower, which I'm definitely gonna remake. I think they're way too big. We got Cabby, or Cabbage Pult, who I'm gonna be keeping, but I need to rework the Pult part. Jack-o'-lantern, keeping it. We got Scaredy Shroom, who I might remake. We got Wintermelon, who I'm gonna be remaking, but I'm still gonna keep this one. Got Plantern, who I might actually remake. This one isn't my favorite custom plush anymore. That's probably gonna go to the many pea shooters I made. Peanut, I'm gonna be remaking this. I'm also remaking this. Shadow Pea Shooter, I might remake. Grapes of Wrath, I'm keeping it. Doom Shroom, remaking it. I might rework or remake Magnifying Grass. Rhoda-Bega, I might remake or rework. Garlic, I'd have to keep. This is a gift for my dad. Blover, I might remake. Wingnut, I might remake. This is 100% getting scrapped. Spikeweed, I might remake this one. I don't know what to do with Sunflower Seed. Red Stinger, I'm keeping this. Sweet Pea, I'm keeping. Melon Pult, I'm keeping. Umbrella Leaf, I'm remaking it. I don't know what to do with this Fire Pea. Garden Warfare Lightning Reed, I'm keeping. I'm keeping this Pea Pod plushie, but I don't know if I want to freaking remake him. Reincarnation's a gift for my mom. We got 1 pair pal, 2 pair pal, 3 pair pals, 4 pair pals, 5 pair pals, 6 pair pals, I'm gonna be keeping all of the pair pals that I made. However, I might make more. There's also this OC pair pal, which I'm remaking because it's kind of racist. There's this OC plant plush called the Belladonna. I might remake this one. Oh, also, Belladonna is basically if Hypnoshroom was a shadow plant. There's this decrepit pea shooter doll, which I'm gonna be keeping. We have a cat from Battle Cats, who I'm keeping. I'm keeping this one. Terraria slime, which I'm keeping. Scrapping. I'm gonna keep this all brown mushroom I accidentally made. A potato with an eye patch. I'm keeping this one. There's this Rush plush who I might scrap because I already remade this guy. Speak of the devil and he appears. I'm keeping this one. A felt cube which I'm either remaking or keeping. Garbage! I might remake this guy because I don't like the teeth. Got a squirrel from Inscription who I'm keeping but reworking the head because it's really wonky. Akestock did suggest I give the Inscription squirrel facial features, however that's not how the Inscription squirrel looks in-game. The snare plush, I'm keeping this. I got this gross cat plushie, which is really fuzzy for some reason. And I'm keeping him. And with the gross cat out of the way, that concludes section 1. Now, we're moving on to section 2, plushies I do not have with me right now. First off is the second Sweet Pea, if you know, you know. Next up is a Willow, he's made out of needle felt, and he ended up getting destroyed. Next up is this Seek plushie, who was a gift to one of my cousins. There's this electric pea shooter and other snow pea who both ended up getting sold for $20 each. There's this goo pea shooter who ended up getting sold to my cousin for 20 bucks. There's this hibernating berry plushie who I finally managed to get pictures of, and they're a gift to my aunt. There's this Santa Snow Pea plush who is a gift to one of my cousins, and without the wool on his hat, he kinda looks like a garden gnome. There's this joke plushie I made specifically for White Elephant. Last but not least, there's this Zodiac animal plushie, which I made for my youngest cousin, and it made me and my mom so freaking delirious. And with the Zodiac animal out of the way, that entirely concludes section 2. Now, we're moving on to section 3. The moment you all been waiting for, the custom plushies that are new and I haven't shown off before. And we're starting off the third category with the remade Spot. This version of Spot looks way nicer in comparison to the old one. There is lore reason why Spot has a spot on his eye and a red scarf, but I will eventually explain that later on when I do eventually make the PvZ plush series. Next up is this sunflower plushie. The proportions aren't really that accurate to the endgame sunflower, but it still looks really good, even despite those inaccuracies. Next up is this repeater plushie. I was originally going to sell this plushie at a craft show, however, I ended up keeping him because I thought he was worth keeping. Next up, there's this Fire Pea plushie who, like the repeater, was originally going to be sold at the craft show, but I decided to keep, and it's also the reason why I'm kind of iffy with scrapping the Fire Pea plushie. There's this 50 sub special Sling Pea plush, who I did show off in the 50 sub special video. There's this walnut plushie I made, which was my first attempt at embroidery, and it looks iffy, I don't know. There's this ghost pepper plushie I made, which I won't go too in-depth on because they're gonna get their own video where I talk about them. Next up, we got this D20 plushie. It's kind of mid. There's also this other random dice block plushie I made. It exists. I got this red balloon plushie from Bloons Tower Defense. There's also this blue balloon plushie from Bloons Tower Defense. And this green balloon from Bloons Tower Defense. Next up is Feather Duster. He's from a homemade trading card game called Dimension Battles. And the creator of Dimension Battles actually found my short video showing off this guy. And he was like, "Whoa! You made this! How did I not figure out this sooner? Oh my god!" That was really funny. And it only took like 3 months. Next up is this Skibbity Toilet plushie, which is really just a talking toilet from Captain Underpants in that one video where I jabaited y'all. Get jabaited. Next up is Roger from a Roblox game called Dandy's World. I made him a plushie because he's my favorite character, and I did end up fixing the discrepancy with his handle thing, where like the purple thing on his handle wasn't there. I ended up catching that and fixing that later. I might actually remake the Roger plushie I made, because I kind of want to make him a little more smaller. I did not expect them to be this big. Next up is this creature, which I don't have a name for. However, they're part of a species who mostly destroys housing and stuff. They're mostly unnamed because the old name that I named these creatures was slang for something sexual. And last, but not least, Luke the Ancient, my OC. Missing his freaking eye. Yeah, during the recording of this video, I ended up losing Luke's eye, and I had to remake another eye for him. Well, other than that, I did end up modifying Luke so he would be way more easier to control. Other than that, I really don't have much else to say about Luke. Well, except for the fact that I did just slip on the new legs on top of the old legs. Something I also do want to mention is that Luke missing his eye or his eye being come-offable is not canon in any story. I'm actually kinda surprised with how small my custom plush collection has grown in the span of like a year. Don't get me wrong, it's a big plush collection, however I feel like it could be way more bigger than just this. And that's just about it for my updated custom plush collection. If you by chance enjoyed this video, it wouldn't hurt for you to like and subscribe to this video. It helps me out a ton and gives me the motivation I need to continue doing this kind of stuff. And I'll be seeing you in a different editing platform because CapCut's getting taken down. Boo!